Two worlds, two speeds, two cultures, but only one crown. NASCAR versus Formula One. Which reigns supreme? It's not just about speed, it's about tradition, engineering, danger, and the fans who bleed for it. In one corner, we have the roaring stock cars of NASCAR, born from outlaw bootleggers and American grit. In the other, the sleek, high-tech machines of Formula One, bred in the sophisticated workshops of Europe. What makes a true racing series, and which one truly delivers the racing experience in its purest form? Welcome to Track Reactions, your source for all the stories on and off the track. Please like this video and subscribe to get the latest burnt rubber. Chapter 1. History. One came from moonshine and muscle, the other, aristocrats and elites. NASCAR's story begins with bootleggers in the American South during Prohibition. These rebels needed cars fast enough to outrun police while hauling illegal moonshine. They'd modify their vehicles, stripping them down and boosting engines to escape the law on backwoods roads. In 1948, Bill France Sr. gathered these wild racers together and gave them rules, creating the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing. The first official race took place in 1949 at Charlotte Speedway in North Carolina, and a legend was born. What started out as outlaws racing on dirt tracks evolved into the thundering spectacle we know today. When Daytona International Speedway opened in 1959, NASCAR found its spiritual home, a high-banked temple of speed where legends like Richard Petty and Dale the Intimidator Earnhardt would cement their places in racing history. Formula One, by contrast, emerged from the European Grand Prix racing of the 1920s and 30s. After World War II, the FIA created a standardized set of rules, a formula, and the first championship was held in 1950. From the beginning, F1 was the playground of aristocrats and industrialists. Teams like Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren poured fortunes into their machines, creating a sport that valued engineering excellence over raw power. The glamorous Monaco Grand Prix, with its harbor views and celebrity attendees, became F1's crown jewel. While NASCAR grew from the grit of American outlaws, F1 developed from the refined European racing tradition. But here's the thing. One racing series was built by the people, for the people. The other was designed for the elite, by the elite. And that difference shapes everything about these two motorsport giants. Chapter 2. The cars. So now that we understand where these racing giants came from, let's pop the hood and see what's really driving them. Because when it comes down to it, NASCAR is a hammer. F1 is a scalpel. When you look at a NASCAR stock car, you're seeing a beast built for battle. These cars weigh in at a hefty 3,250 pounds, more than twice as heavy as their F1 counterparts. Under the hood, NASCAR packs a punch with a 5.86-liter V8 engine that pumps out around 750 horsepower. These aren't the delicate machines you'll find in F1. Stock cars are built tough, designed to take a hit and keep running. They're modified versions of production vehicles from Chevy, Ford, and Toyota, cars that, at least in theory, resemble what you could drive off a dealer lot. The genius of NASCAR's design is its durability. These cars can bang fenders at 200 miles per hour, draft inches apart for hundreds of miles, and survive the occasional trip into the wall. A NASCAR engine needs to last 800 miles. F1 cars? They're a different animal entirely. Formula One vehicles are carbon fiber spacecraft on wheels that weigh just 1,500 pounds. They're powered by a complex 1.6-liter V6 turbo hybrid engine that, along with energy recovery systems, produces around 1,000 horsepower. Every curve and surface on an F1 car is designed for aerodynamic perfection. The cars generate so much downforce that they could theoretically drive upside down on a ceiling at high speeds. But touch another car? Even a light tap can end your race. The price tags reflect this difference. A NASCAR team might spend $25 million on their car for a season. An F1 team? Up to $470 million for a pair of cars. So what's better? The tough, durable stock car that can take a punch? Or the fragile but lightning-fast F1 machine? I think the answer is clear when you're watching a NASCAR driver muscle through three-wide racing after 400 miles of intense competition. Chapter 3. The Tracks. These different philosophies in car design naturally lead to very different battlegrounds. After all, you wouldn't race a hammer and a scalpel on the same course, would you? And that's why in NASCAR, you're always in the fight. In F1, precision keeps you alive. NASCAR's bread and butter is the oval track, a seemingly simple design that creates some of the most intense racing on the planet. From the high banks of Daytona and Talladega to the tight confines of Bristol and Martinsville, these tracks force drivers to battle wheel to wheel for hours. On a NASCAR oval, you're never more than a few seconds from your competitors. Top speeds hit around 200 miles per hour, with 40 cars often separated by just seconds. Formula One circuits couldn't be more different. F1 tracks are complex road courses with an average of 15 to 20 turns per lap, each one a unique challenge. Street circuits like Singapore and Monaco thread between concrete barriers with zero margin for error. Make a 6-inch mistake at Monaco, and your race is over. While NASCAR has begun incorporating more road courses into its schedule, the sport's heart remains on the oval, where pack racing creates a constant action and last lap passes are common. Chapter 4. The Strategy. The differences don't end where the cars leave the track, though. In fact, some of the most critical moments happen when those wheels aren't even turning. Because in both sports, the race is often won before the checkered flag drops. A NASCAR pit stop is organized chaos. 6 crew members leaping over the wall, changing 4 tires, filling the car with fuel, making adjustments, and sending the driver back out in about 12 seconds. It's a high-stakes ballet performed under intense pressure. F1 pit stops are even faster, a blur of synchronized motion that can be completed in around 2 seconds. But there's a key difference. F1 banned refueling in 2010. Teams only change tires and make minimal adjustments, which is why they're so quick. NASCAR's longer races, often 400 or 500 miles compared to F1's roughly 190-mile events, create more strategic options. Crew chiefs must calculate fuel windows, tire wear, and potential caution periods across 4 hours of racing. The communication between drivers and spotter adds another layer, with constant updates about competitors' lines and approaching traffic. In NASCAR, a mid-race caution flag can completely reset the strategy. Teams might gamble on taking 2 tires instead of 4, or they might stay out entirely to gain track position. These split-second decisions often determine who drinks the victory champagne. F1 strategy focuses on tire compounds, fuel saving, and weather prediction. Teams employ dozens of engineers monitoring telemetry data in real time, both at the track and back at headquarters. The drag reduction system, DRS, which allows drivers to temporarily reduce drag on straights, adds a manufactured overtaking element that many purists find artificial. The difference? NASCAR's strategy unfolds in the heat of battle, with crew chiefs making gut calls based on changing conditions. F1 strategy feels more like a chess match played on supercomputers. For my money, I'll take the unpredictability of NASCAR's strategic elements any day. When a late caution flag flies at Bristol and everyone dives for pit road, that's when legends are made. Chapter 5. The Drivers. Of course, all this machinery and strategy would be nothing without the brave souls strapped into the cockpit. And just like the cars they drive, the men behind the wheel couldn't be more different. One wrestles a beast, the other dances with it. NASCAR drivers are modern gladiators. They endure extreme G-forces while trading paint with competitors at 200 miles per hour. Many NASCAR stars come from humble beginnings. Drivers like Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr. worked their way up through the local short tracks, sleeping in their trucks between races. Their connection to fans runs deep. They're relatable heroes who've earned every opportunity through grit and determination. Formula One drivers represent a different kind of excellence. Most begin karting as young children. By the time they reach F1, they've already spent millions on their development. The 20 drivers on the F1 grid are the elite of the elite, selected from thousands of aspirants worldwide. They must combine lightning reflexes with technical understanding and precise feedback to engineers. F1 drivers are global celebrities, often living in tax havens like Monaco and mingling with royalty. NASCAR drivers are more likely to be found at local short tracks on off weekends, reconnecting with their roots. Chapter 6. Culture Clash. The contrast between these racing series goes far beyond just drivers and machines. Step away from the track and you'll find that the real difference is in the grandstand and infields. It's not just the cars, it's a clash of values. A NASCAR race weekend is a uniquely American experience. Fans arrive days early, setting up campsites and tailgates that become small communities. The pre-race festivities celebrate American values, a military flyover, the national anthem, and a prayer. It's unashamedly patriotic. The infield at Talladega or Daytona becomes a temporary city of RVs, grills, and coolers. Fans might spend a week's salary on tickets, camping, and merchandise, but they're investing in more than a race. They're buying into a lifestyle and a community. NASCAR's fan accessibility is unmatched. Drivers sign autographs before races. Teams host meet and greets. The garage area is often open to fans with the right pass. This creates a connection between competitors and spectators that few sports can match. Formula One, by contrast, embodies global cosmopolitanism. A typical race weekend might feature champagne receptions, fashion shows, and exclusive parties, attended by celebrities and royalty. The paddock, F1's equivalent to NASCAR's garage, is notoriously restrictive, with layered access that keeps ordinary fans far from the teams and drivers. The F1 calendar hops between luxury destinations, Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, creating a jet-set atmosphere that appeals to international business and the ultra-wealthy. A weekend at the Monaco Grand Prix can easily cost $10,000 for premium access. NASCAR has tracks in the heart of American communities, serving as economic anchors for places like Bristol, Tennessee, and Talladega, Alabama. When NASCAR comes to town, local businesses thrive and communities come together. This cultural divide extends to how each sport presents itself. NASCAR embraces its blue-collar roots and regional heritage. F1 positions itself as a premium global brand alongside luxury watchmakers and fashion houses. For American fans wanting an authentic racing experience where they're treated as participants rather than consumers, NASCAR offers something F1 simply can't: a sense of belonging. Chapter 7. Which is better? So now we've walked through the garages, circled the tracks, and felt the roar of the crowds in both worlds. After looking at the origins, the cars, the tracks, the strategy, the drivers, and the culture, which racing series really takes the checkered flag? Formula One has its strengths. The technological innovation is undeniable. The precision driving is remarkable. But NASCAR offers something more authentic, more exciting, and more fundamentally connected to what makes racing great: competition. On any given Sunday, a NASCAR fan might see 40 lead changes, late race drama, and a finish decided by inches after 500 miles of racing. The unpredictability is baked into the format, with caution flags regrouping the field and creating constant opportunities for underdogs to shine. In F1, the qualifying session often predicts the podium. The car matters more than the driver. The team with the biggest budget usually wins. In 2020, Mercedes won 13 of 17 races. That's not competition, that's a procession. NASCAR's recently introduced next-gen car has leveled the playing field even further, allowing teams with smaller budgets to compete for wins. The 2022 season saw 19 different winners in 36 races. That's equality that F1 can only dream about. The numbers don't lie. NASCAR delivers more action, more competition, and more drama. It celebrates its heritage while embracing change. It values the fan experience over corporate exclusivity. So which is better? The answer seems clear to me. For those who value authentic competition, accessibility, and pure racing excitement, NASCAR isn't just an alternative to F1. It's the superior choice. In Formula One, you might witness technological perfection. In NASCAR, you'll experience racing at its most thrilling, unpredictable, and fundamentally human. The choice is yours, but for my money, I'll take the thunder of 40 V8 engines, the roar of an American crowd, and the sight of drivers trading paint for position any day of the week. As always, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more videos about motorsport's greatest debates, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So are you Team NASCAR or Team Formula One? Drop a comment below. This is Track Reactions, and we'll see you at the track.